we're talking about the future of a national treasure, the Everglades. It's no different than if we were talking about Yellowstone or Boundary Waters or Bristol Bay or anything else. And so whether you live here or whether the Everglades is like a bucket list place that you want to come pursue tarpon or go hiking or camping or whatever, that should be the main driver of why people should be involved, is just the ultimate value of the Everglades. The impact that Captains has is the lobbying point's a good point. For example, we don't have a single lobbyist. In our opinion, a paid lobbyist is going to go in and push for whatever somebody's paying them to advocate for. The most powerful lobbying voice you have, as we know, like what's going on with the public lands issue right now, is the authentic voice of the public. And in order for us to empower the public and the individual stakeholders to bring that authentic voice and lobby on behalf of themselves or on behalf of their businesses to DC, to policymakers in Tallahassee or Washington, we have to first educate them on Everglades restoration. The fact that you had this massive ecosystem at the turn of the century in the early 1900s that was drained and diverted and water was bled out and the whole thing was compartmentalized. And as a result, the East Coast and the West Coast of Florida would get way too much water in the wet season. And that water that was destroying those coasts historically would flow down to the Everglades. So the Everglades would get too dry, and Florida Bay down in the Florida Keys would get too salty. And so Everglades restorations is planned to reconnect that system to allow Lake Okeechobee's waters to flow back through the River of Grass, back to Florida Bay, rehydrating the Everglades and reducing those damaging discharges to the east and the west coast. And so in order for us to expect people to continuously, over the course of years or decades, advocate to see this massive project through to completion, they're going to have an understanding of that problem, of the solution that's in place to that problem, and then be able to convey to policymakers how those issues or symptoms of that water mismanagement affect them personally, their way of life, their business, anything like that.